Welcome to Move the Sticks. DJ and Bucky here. And Bucky, we continue on with our position previews. And today we're looking at linebackers. And let's clarify here, not on the ball linebackers, not 3-4 outside linebackers, guys that are off the ball. What we're going to do here, we're going to identify 5 players who we believe are the best at that position entering the season. We're going to let you handle the heavy lifting today. And then I'm going to chime in with 3 rookies at the position to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm going to start at number 5, and I'm going to go right to Pittsburgh because I believe Lawrence Timmons is a guy that doesn't get enough attention for what he brings to the table. The first thing that I think about when I watch him on tape, he's a menace. This is a broad street bully, a guy that does a great job of playing with physicality and toughness. There you see him slip and dive, gets in there, makes hits on runners. Love to see what he does. I also think he's a bit of a chameleon. He is a guy that is unique because he can drop back in coverage. He also is an effective rusher. Look, you got to remember, he played outside linebacker during his time at Florida State. They used all of those skills. But most importantly, he's productive. Look at the bottom of the screen. Look at the number, 119 tackles, 5 sacks, 6 passes defense, and an interception. You want a guy that can be a stat stuffer in the middle. That is what Lawrence Timmons is.
Yeah, he's definitely brought some athleticism. They have really overhauled the speed and athleticism of their defense in Pittsburgh. He's a key to it there. All right, who's number 4, Buck?
I'm going to go with Lavonte David from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look, he was undersized, came in the league undersized. You wondered what he could do. But when I look at the traits that he brings, he's a chaser. He can run and chase, does a great job going from sideline to sideline, makes plays, very active in that defense. As this defense changes under Mike Smith, I think he's going to be a guy that makes a ton of plays because the lanes are going to be open for him to shoot through and find a way to make plays. Second thing I think about, he just has a great feel for the position. We could call it instincts. He just has a feel for how to read and diagnose plays, creates a lot of disruptive plays. That is why I call him a playmaker. There you see. 147 tackles, 3 interceptions, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles.
Stats.
I want a guy that can create splash plays. Lavonte David does it better than most.
Yeah, he was one. Everybody worried about his size coming out of Nebraska, and then all of a sudden we realized that production we saw in college just translated right on over to the NFL. All right, number 3, Buck.
Here we go. One of my former draft picks when I was at the Carolina Panthers, Thomas Davis. Thomas Davis is a guy that we took from the University of Georgia. We had him at safety, transitioned to a linebacker, and he has lived up to all the expectations that they had for him there. This is a guy that has outstanding athleticism, versatility. You're talking about someone who's had 3 ACL injuries but continues to be active. Love his versatility, the ability to play in coverage.
Look at the depth.
Active against the run. Also can blitz off the edge. Does everything that you look for at the position. And then it's the grit. When you think about the Carolina Panthers defense, it's that toughness, the physicality. He is part of a tandem with Luke Kuechly that allows them to really have that identity. Love how the Carolina Panthers play on defense because they're tough, they're fast, they're physical.
Yeah, the Panther linebackers, the depth they're able to get in their drops and pass coverage is ridiculous. It's like they're playing with 2 corners out there at the linebacker spot, Buck.
Great instincts, outstanding football IQ.
All right, who's next?
Navorro Bowman from the San Francisco 49ers. And when I look at Navorro Bowman, the first thing that stands out to me is he's a thumper. He brings the physicality and toughness that you look for in between the tackles. Coming off that devastating knee injury, he has quickly gone back to being the cream of the crop. Physical, toughness, all those things that you want your linebackers to define and set the table for, he does that. His IQ, instincts, awareness, understanding what's about to happen before it takes place. My inside linebacker needs to be the traffic cop. His IQ allows him to do so. And then finally, he's nasty. He plays with a nasty temperament, plays on the edge when it comes to that grittiness, that meanness that you need. Navorro Bowman is a tempo setter, like him in the middle of my defense.
I look at their last 2 there, Thomas Davis and Navorro Bowman. Just how about the toughness to be able to battle back from the injuries these guys have come back from?
Yeah, absolutely. They battle back. Those guys have come back and have been elite players. That's what you want to see from your best player.
All right, number 1. We've got 1 left here, Buck.
Gold standard at the position is Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly is everything that you could diagram and draw up for an inside or a Mike linebacker. This guy has tremendous instincts when it comes to playing the position, understands how to key and diagnose. He gets jumps on plays before they even unfold. There you see the interception on Tony Romo. This is something that's uncommon for most linebackers, but he does it on a week-in, week-out basis. I love that. I like his awareness, his ability to play through traffic, to sift through the clogged lanes and get into the backfield, and then it's his motor. Non-stop in his relentless pursuit of backfield runners, quarterbacks. He doesn't stop on the play. He and Thomas Davis comprise the best linebacker tandem in the league. That's why both of those guys make my top 5 list.
All right, Bucky, I get a chance to get a snub in here, and I actually have 2. So the first one, I don't know, we don't have video on, but Jamie Collins. I mean
he's a nice player.
He's worthy of being in your top 5
he's a
here.
very nice player, but I don't know who he removes. Lawrence Timmons is a monster.
I would take him over. I would take him over Lawrence Timmons.
Active.
But anyway, Jamie Collins is one. But another one here, and this is one I'm kind of looking forward here because I've seen the progression of this player.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Timmons' teammate Ryan Shazier. I think he's even more dynamic of an athlete than Timmons. You talk about that burst and range and all those things he brings to the table. He is a big-time talent. So, look, Shazier, I think next year when you do this list, he'll find his way on there, as will Jamie Collins. I think both will end up there.
I mean, both of those guys are right on the line. Ryan Shazier particularly has been coming on like game busters. This is someone at Ohio State that played on the edges, has really transitioned nicely on the inside. If he can stay healthy, he'll certainly be in that conversation.
All right, some of the young guys here to look at, Buck. I've got 3. Miles Jack, you got to get him in the starting lineup there for Jacksonville. Seeing him there inside, we know what he can do as an athlete. The coverage ability, I think he's got a little more thump and take-on ability than people gave him credit for. Cravens, across the street here at USC, his ability in coverage and the versatility he brings to the table is somebody to keep an eye on this year for the Washington Redskins. Number 1, though, I'm going to go Darron Lee, what he does for the New York Jets. And when I look at him as a football player, the 3 traits I will say for him that make him really stand out, I start with the burst. Just that raw speed that he has, the ability to run with a tight end. Shoot, he can run with a slot receiver with his background in the secondary, Buck. That jumps out to me. So you start with burst, then the agility. You know, a lot of times you get these stiff, straight-line guys. He's not that. He's very loose. He's very fluid. And you can see him wrap around as a blitzer. You can see him in coverage, as I mentioned. And then that versatility. You want to blitz, you want to cover, you want to play the run. He can do all those things.
He absolutely can do all those things. You alluded to his background as an all-state cornerback in high school. That allows him to be a versatile athlete that can play over those slot receivers and tight ends. I think in Ty Bowles' defense in New York, he's going to be a star. I'm looking for him to be one of the top candidates for that Defensive Rookie of the Year award.
All right, Bucky, we've said what we think here.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Make sure you leave your comments below. We want to hear your voice. You have a voice, opinion.
Yeah, I want to know, Ryan Shazier and Jamie Collins, do they belong? You let us know there in the comments. And check out all of our position previews as well as our division previews here on Move the Sticks. You can find all of our content there, NFL.com/podcast for our audio podcast, and the videos that we just mentioned. You can find them all on YouTube.com/NFL.